This is Molson Canadian Leaf Nation pregame. That is Luke Shen and Ian White making their way in, as well as their opponents tonight in the wings, and of course GM Cliff Fletcher, who's got a couple of decisions to make before the end of this week when things start to count for real. We are in the second game tonight of 3 in 3 nights. We're going to see a lot of hockey right here on Leafs TV, and we've got the guys here to break it down for you. I'm Jody Vance, and this is Molson Canadian Leafs Nation pregame. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight, including the headlines, of course. We'll break down everything you need to know as we count down from 33 players to 23 early in the week. Who will stay? Who will go? Who do we think? The experts will weigh in. Also, we'll have a sit-down with Jamal Mayers, who is making his return to Toronto, of course, a Mississauga native, and he'll tell us what he's doing for the community already here. He's embraced his hometown, and we'll have Carlo Koliakovo stopping by to say hello. I'm Jody Vance, as I mentioned, along with Joe Bowen, Mark Morrow, and Paul Hendrick, my co-host and the senior reporter in the building. Joe Bowen likes to refer to him as Sam Donaldson, yes, just so you're aware. But Henny, we got to talk about Detroit Red Wings because, last night it was a tough one in the Motor City. Tonight, the Leafs with an opportunity to get ready for their opener versus this club.
It's a good hockey team, and there has not been a repeat Stanley Cup champion since 1998. The Detroit Red Wings did it back then. Joe, is there any reason to think they're not going to do it again this time around?
You know, it's hard-hitting questions like that, Sam, that make you the senior reporter. But one thing about the Detroit Red Wings is, and they're doing the same thing the Leafs are, they're playing 9 exhibition games. The difference is there's very few question marks as far as the Red Wings are concerned. The Leafs have a lot of them, and they're going to be answered here in the next couple of days. But the problem with the Red Wings is how deep they are. They are deep at every position imaginable, and probably in a position where they're going to lose some people because of waivers and other things that they wouldn't normally do under different circumstances. But the only thing I can think of that may derail this is if they get the hangover from the Stanley Cup. Although what happened 2 years ago when they were eliminated, it lasted just 7 more days. So I think the mindset is that, hey, it wasn't much more of a hangover when you lost in the semifinals than going the whole distance. So they are capable of certainly of repeating. I don't think there's any question about it.
And you know what, Paul, when you talk about the Detroit Red Wings, the biggest thing that you pointed out was their depth, but also their lack of turnover. This is essentially the same team coming back, adding a Marian Hossa to that mix. And there's no experimenting with lines. There's no impressing a new coach. There's no new systems, new players coming in. This is the same team as it was last year. It's just a matter of them picking up, getting back into game shape, getting comfortable with each other again, and going out there and executing, doing those little things as they march back towards what they hope is a second Stanley Cup in a row.
All right, time for the headlines, brought to you by Ford, powered by you. And it begins with a question for Joe Bowen in Curtis Joseph. This guy needs to rebound from his performance in St. Louis.
Well, you have to remember one thing. Curtis Joseph didn't play a lot last year.
Right.
In fact, he did not have a training camp. He played well in the Spengler Cup. That got him an employment with the Calgary Flames, where he played sparingly because of Kiprusoff. So after having just one period, and then, of course, having his team melt down on him in St. Louis, it's a good thing that he is a veteran, and it's really not a situation where he has to say, this is do or die, I've got to play real well tonight. But he's a professional. He does know that he has to have a better game and have a better result. Maybe not a better game, a better result. And I think the team has to play better around him because of that.
Costly turnovers last night proved costly, especially in the third period. And you look at the top line of Ponikarovsky, Blake, and Antropov, a combined -6 on the night. Mark, is it the attention to detail that Ron Wilson wants rectified if this is to be a good season for the Maple Leafs in terms of cutting down on those miscues?
It's absolutely what he wants, that and the discipline. But I think the biggest thing is we see some of those turnovers that resulted in goals last night is the mental mistakes, the little things. Because when you're working a defensive-first system, you can't beat yourself. And when you turn over the puck, you're beating yourself. The point of a defensive-first system is to force the other team into turnovers, not give them that. And you're going to have limited offensive opportunities, so you've got to capitalize when you get those chances. So the biggest thing for them, and to me, it's the mental mistakes of the individual players. They're executing their system, but then they're just trying to do that little bit too much or make that one fancy play, and you can't do that in this Ron Wilson system. You have to keep it simple, just go out there, work, keep it very effective, and that's one of his things, attention to the details that he's going to be looking for coming in these last couple of games.
And in fairness, they've played 7 exhibition games, going to play 9. They're not had the same team together. They've not had line combinations together. They haven't had the D together. They haven't had only 6 practices. So for a coach that's coming in to try to implement a new system, it's been done on the smart board or the chalkboard or whatever they use down there. No, it is the smart board because Tim Hunter told me today that the last time he used chalk, he hit somebody in the head with it. So it's got to be something like that. And that's a pretty tough thing to do without being able to get on the ice as a team. That's not going to happen until next week.
You know what? That's the excuse for the systems play. But to me, it's the mental mistakes, and that's not systems play. A guy turning a puck on the backhand up the middle is not a systems play. That's just a simple mental mistake, and I think that's what Ron Wilson's going to be more concerned about than the systems play.
All right.
Well, one of the smart defensive players, in fact, probably the most balanced player on this Leaf roster might be that of Nicholas Hagman. Joe, you had a chance to call play-by-play when his dad, Matty, played way back in the early 80s. As the apple and the tree not that far apart,
No,
these two guys?
I don't think so. They're both well-schooled in both aspects of the game. And Nicholas has been excellent as far as his defensive play is concerned. And last year, of course, was a big breakout year offensively for him. But it's like you say, you play well defensively, you're going to get your offensive opportunities because of turnovers. And in the preseason, he's taken advantage of those.
And ironically, when you talk about great defensive play, the offense has come. He scored 8 game winners for Dallas last year and leads the Maple Leafs so far in shots in the preseason with 16. I had a chance to talk to him about the offense as a result of that good defense earlier today.
I don't know if I like playing against them. We had some tough times with Dallas over against Detroit, but I mean, just they're the top team in the league. Obviously, they won last year. They've got so much skill. It's always a huge challenge to play against them. You want to play really good, obviously against them, because you want to show that you can play against the top team in the league. So maybe that gives a little extra boost to play against them.
You don't have a lot of time to hold on to the puck and make decisions. They've got to be very quick, and I guess that means guys who do not have the puck have to work really hard to get open to help that person with the puck make a good play, right?
Yeah, I mean, they give a really good pressure all over the ice. They're probably the best back-checking team too, like Datsuk and Zetterberg. They tend to always lift their stick and steal the puck. You just got to be aware of that. But I mean, if we can move the puck and move our feet, that's going to create a lot of struggle for them too. Because if we can hold on to the puck, then they can't have the puck. So that's because they love to just play with the puck and turn back and make nice passes and drop passes and all that stuff. So you got to play hard and smart and try to keep the puck as much as you can.
Hagman is well paired with Grabowski and Toulouse. Had pretty good games in Detroit last night, so I look forward to seeing what this line can do this evening, Jody.
And we are counting down to the game tonight right here on Leafs TV, a 7 o'clock start. It's a Saturday night. Hockey's on in the building. It's still preseason, but it still feels pretty good after a nice long summer. We are back right after this with more Molson Canadian Leaf Nation pregame live from the Air Canada Centre. Stick around with us. We'll be right back after this.